That's how you stand when you're being an asshole in the family picture, and then your mom finally says, "This is serious, stop screwing around." So you put your hands behind your back like that, and you just look like a nice little scamp, like, "Oh, I'm just innocent." What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review or some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I have for you boys and girls today is my review for Dom Kennedy's new album, by Dom Kennedy. That's the name of the album title. I'm not saying that Dom Kennedy's new album is by Dom Kennedy, because of course it's by Dom Kennedy. But it is by Dom Kennedy. If you're not familiar with who Dom Kennedy is, he's a West Coast rapper who's not known for his crazy lyrical abilities. But what he's known for is how he can make such smooth and wavy music. He really excels at doing that. In fact, I think the Yellow album and From the West Side with Love 2, those are two of his greatest projects, and I highly recommend you check those out if you like some smooth, summertime barbecue music. Now this album right here, I don't quite think it's as good as those two albums, it's almost there, but it is better than his last album, which was called Get Home Safely. That one had a couple of good tracks, but there was a lot of filler on there, I felt. And that's one of the things that's so good about this album. It doesn't really have any filler on it because it's only about 36 minutes long and 11 tracks. It just works in Dom Kennedy's favor, because I think if this was 15, 16, or 17 tracks long, it might get a little bit dull and boring because, like I said, he doesn't bring a whole lot of lyrical shit to talk about. So I'm going to jump right into two of my favorite tracks from this album. First of all, there's the single Too Bad, which is just a bad chick dedication with a smooth beat and an R&B hook. And Thank You Biggie finds Dom Kennedy spitting that his favorite song was Biggie's track Get Money, and he's rapping over some really nice piano production on this one. I think it would have been better if he maybe went a bit more into detail about why he loves Biggie so much, but his subtle approach works as well because he just throws out some Biggie lines here and there throughout the song. Like when he says, "Birthdays was the worst days, now we sip champagne when we're thirsty, It's actually just water, because I'm still a broke ass. And while Dom doesn't get too deep on this album as far as subject matter and lyrical content go, he does say some interesting things here and there, like on the song Daddy, where he reflects on what it was like to be in the Life Jacket video with DJ Quick and Sugar Free. And it also made me laugh when he was rapping about how teenage boys crash their cars looking at all the fat, juicy asses on the sidewalk. Because that actually happened to my friend back in high school. And even though his dad was kind of upset that he crashed the car, once he knew why it happened, he completely understood. And then he just told him, "It's okay to check out fine asses on the sidewalk, but just make sure you push the brakes at the same time." And speaking of dads, the song Lemonade is a dedication to Dom's son, who apparently loves lemonade. And while I appreciate that sentiment and I like the sound of the beat, I did find the hook to be a little bit corny, because all Dom is doing is giving you the recipe for lemonade. Which again, is nice, that's his son's favorite drink, but can you imagine being at a red light or a stop sign with this shit blaring and you're singing along like, "Water, sugar, lemon squeeze, water, sugar, lemon squeeze." Now another one of my favorite tracks on here is called Represent, aka I Like That. And this song is a perfect example of why so many of us like Dom Kennedy's music. J Pounds brought some extremely wavy production to this one, and this is just the exact type of music that Dom Kennedy excels at. It's very lighthearted and fun. Dom spits that he's gonna give girls all kinds of D, that's dope Dom in the dollar menu. And he also says something about rubbing a full bottle of lotion on a woman, which might sound weird, but don't knock it till you try it. Then, on the outro, he shouts out all the zodiac signs, and that's sure to get girls up in the club like, "Yes, Scorpio, ooh girl, you a Gemini, Posted in the Club has a similar laid-back vibe, and just like Represent, both of these songs don't really have much to get into as far as the content goes. But again, this is the perfect example of why people like Dom Kennedy, so if you check out these two tracks and you enjoy them, I'm sure you'll appreciate most of this album, and you might want to check out Dom's other music if you haven't done so already. So for the most part, I've been really positive about this album, but it's definitely not perfect. I think Dom Kennedy's monotone flow and style might get annoying and maybe even a bit dull to some people out there. But if you don't mind that, and you understand that he's not trying to be a lyrical genius, you should be able to appreciate this vibe. Now there are also 2 DJ Dahi produced tracks on here. Fried Lobster sounds like $1,000,000 and a summer breeze, and it has a title that just makes me hungry every time I hear it, see it, read it, whatever. Have any of you had Fried Lobster? And if you have, is it as good as I'm thinking it tastes? The verses on this one are just some simple braggy shit about Benzes and Rollies. But it was nice to hear from Bonnick again, because I haven't heard of him since the Phillies Most Wanted days, and they had a couple of jams, especially Street Tax, so check that out if you've never heard of Phillies Most Wanted and have never heard that song. DJ Dahi also produced the track called Alhambra, where Dom spits about moving there to just retire and live out his days popping Viagra and having sex with his woman. Which, you know, I really can't hate on that. I guess he's gonna take the Viagra so that he can stay breaking ass until he's up in his 80s, 90s, maybe even beyond that. So, good for you, Dom. That's a good plan. So to wrap things up here, I really enjoyed this album. It's just short, sweet, and cohesive. It did start off a little bit slow to me because the first 3 tracks are my least favorite, but once Represent kicked in, I found the rest of the album to be a pretty smooth ride. The only song on here that I really don't like is My First Reply, but I'm still going to go with a 3.5 out of 5 for this one because there's just not much that's overly memorable about the lyrics and the rapping. I know that's not Dom Kennedy's strength and what he's trying to do, but I think even just a little bit more depth and interesting content and subject matter would have really elevated this project and probably made it into a 4 out of 5 for me. But that's just what I thought about it. As usual, hit up the comment section to let me know what you think, and make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 4,000, we're so close, then we gotta make the push for 5,000. So thank you everybody for supporting the channel. I'll see you next time.